Dating back to the 1800s, individuals utilized a ketogenic diet to lose fat. Fast forward to the 1900s, and kids across the world were utilizing the diet to help with epilepsy. Soon thereafter, scientists discovered something very unique about people on a ketogenic diet. They produce ketones. After several decades of trying, top research experts were able to start identifying ways to synthesize these ketone bodies so they could be delivered via supplementation. Less than 5 years ago, Prove It introduced ketones to the market to help individuals achieve a state of ketosis without necessarily being on a ketogenic diet, and to help those already on a ketogenic diet. However, there was something still lacking. Other ketone companies started launching products that were being synthetically produced, possibly containing unwanted byproducts, and were not giving the bioidentical form of ketones that your body naturally makes. Think about the way a key fits into a keyhole. Most ketones out on the market contain what scientists call a mixed isomer. This means that they're trying to shove two keys into the keyhole at the same time. The problem is that only one of the keys actually fits inside of the keyhole. So instead of opening the door, these ketones are competing for one another, resulting in being able to open the door less than 50% of the time. Imagine if you have a form of ketones that was the exact same key that was made for the cells of your body. The key would fit perfectly in, and there would be no blockage. This was ideal, but nobody could accomplish this without it costing the same amount as a mortgage or car payment per serving. That is, until now. Being the authority and lead educator in ketones and ketosis, Prove It has innovated again with an advanced technology of bioidentical ketones that are naturally fermented. Prove It is the first and only company with this patent-pending technology that is truly a game-changer in the ketone space. KetoNat is the world's first naturally fermented exogenous ketone that provides the highest quality, most bioavailable form of ketones that has ever been created. No formaldehyde, no crotonic acid, no synthetic production, no possibility of any byproducts. KetoNat is revolutionary breakthrough innovation that can provide the benefits of ketones in the safest, most natural form of ketones available. Ask yourself this: how are your ketones made? Do you have the right key? The future is here. KetoNat.
All right. Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Happy Friday. Super excited to be here with you guys. I've just had a lot of questions lately, and they've been coming in about, the question is, what are these exogenous ketones? And the questions come up too, like what's the difference in our exogenous ketones versus anything else that you see on the market? That's why I wanted to share that little bit of a video there prior to this, because it explains it very well. And if you guys heard in there and talking about naturally fermented ketones and the different isomers and the keys fighting for the same, lock on opening the cells, I would suggest this, like go back and listen to that again, and you'll kind of grasp exactly why the ketones that we use over any other product, because it is not synthetic. Every other ketone on the market out there is synthetic. And what that means is your body's not going to absorb them as well as ours gets absorbed. So the truth about exogenous ketones and who can use them and why would you want to use them? And the thing is we get this question quite a bit. A lot of people are like, well, if I'm doing the ketogenic diet and I'm producing my own ketones, why would I want to utilize exogenous ketones? Or should I? Or, some of the questions are, and feel free, guys, to drop any questions down below that you want, because I'm here to answer any and all questions. I'm running on 5 different platforms. So if I don't get to your question, we will get back to you. I'm running on Keto Every Day on YouTube, Keto Every Day on Facebook, my personal platform, Vaughn Hendricks, and then Keto Everyday Tips, Recipes, and More, which is a great group of ours off of Keto Every Day that just gives a ton of different information on there. If you guys want to go check that out, please go check it out. Keto Everyday Tips, Recipes, and More. And it's exactly that. It's tips, it's recipes, and it's more. Like, there's more on there. And then we also have the Keto Kitchen Palm Beach also streaming from. So I want to get right into this. They take us in next time. So the reason is, and thank you guys for jumping on. Doreen, thank you for jumping on. You're absolutely amazing. Again, share this out, guys, and let me know where you're coming in from, because I really, truly love to see the global expansion that we're creating here. A little bit about myself before we get started, and my background in ketones, ketosis, ketogenics, as I've been doing this now for 4 years. And the ketogenic lifestyle has really shifted the way that I operate each and every day. Just helps me optimize who I am. And what do I mean by that? Prior to me finding exogenous ketones, I didn't know a whole lot about the ketogenic diet. To be completely transparent, I didn't know much about it. The only thing I knew was probably like the Atkins diet that my dad had did, where he ate a ton of eggs and he ate all these, this protein and all this meat and everything like that, which seemed to, from what I can remember, which seemed to work for him in the past. But I didn't know that it had anything to do with getting your body into a state of ketosis, or that there was even two fuel sources that our body ran on. And if you guys don't understand that, please, let me know on that end, because I'd love to explain it. If you guys are tuning in and you're seeing on the bottom, and hopefully I have it marked on there. I don't know if I allowed it to go on the bottom of the Keto Everyday page or not. Somebody said, what's up, brother? Long time no see. I just can't see who is actually commenting that. You actually have to click the scroll down below that says allow, Facebook or allow StreamYard to use your name on here, because I'm actually using a different platform that I'm streaming from. So if you guys would just allow them to do that, I'll be able to tell who exactly that is down there. Let me see if I can see it. I'm on one of my pages here. Yeah, I don't see it here. And you guys may be catching me on a different page that I don't have up right now. But I just want to jump right into it and really explain, why you would want to utilize something like this, the benefits behind it, and do you have to do a ketogenic diet if you're doing this? And what are the options to getting it, right? Because there is a supplement that's sold here, right? And we guide you guys through the process. This isn't something that you would go into one of your local, vitamin shops or your local March stores or anything like that. And anytime you go in there, now you see a keto corner somewhere. You see keto, right? Well, I'm here to tell you the reason you see keto everywhere is because our company was the category kings to bring this to the market. What does that mean? People started using exogenous ketones almost 5 years ago now. And what happened is they started feeling better. So they started utilizing this, and not much was known about the diet. Back then it wasn't talked about. It wasn't mainstream like it is now. So in that process, people started utilizing these exogenous ketones, and they just started feeling better. And they started just to get, I'll go through a couple of the benefits right here, because this is what they started feeling. They started feeling fast and sustained energy. They started not having to take a nap in the afternoon anymore. They started just being able to be, get through that day without that 2 o'clock wall, without hitting that wall. Like, how many of you guys out there hit a wall at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever time your wall is? That used to be me. Like, I used to know I would go out and hit it, and then be all of a sudden, boom. I'd be sitting in my truck waiting to get out and do another job, and I'd start to pass out. I would start to fall asleep. If that's you guys, like, drop it down below, because the fact of the matter is that's most Americans. We hit that wall. It's because we're running out of that energy. We're running out of that fuel source. So people started not having to do that anymore. They weren't taking naps. And it was like, man, they started feeling better. And another big one, how many of us don't eat properly? How many of us not getting the amount of protein in that we need? Muscle preservation. So a lot of people think that this is a weight loss product. A lot of people think, I can't take that because I need to gain weight. I'm here to tell you this right now. What we have in the exogenous ketones, I don't care who markets whatever out there as a weight loss product. This is not a weight loss product. Okay. Can you lose fat? And is there a possibility that you lose weight? Absolutely. We've had tremendous success with that. But the fact of the matter is, like, if you're 97 pounds, you're not going to wither away to bones. You're not going to become a skeleton, right? Like, the fact of the matter is, it's going to give your body what your body needs. So if your body actually needs, because it has some issues going on, and maybe you need to gain a little bit of weight, maybe you need to put on some muscle mass, right? This is going to help preserve that muscle. This is going to help sustain that muscle, right? So anytime you're in a state of ketosis, and I was going over this with a gentleman earlier, He's like, I've been doing a lot of running lately. He did this 100-mile thing for June for, the soldiers. And he's like, but I'm losing a lot of muscle mass at the same time. And I said, that's because you're at a calorie deficit, right? So now all of a sudden you're not taking in enough food, and your body's not replenishing the way that it needs to. So in that state, your body turns to something because it needs the fuel source, it needs the energy. So what happens is it starts to turn towards the muscle. It starts to become catabolic. So it starts to actually eat away at your muscle. That way, you're in any diet, like if you guys have ever done like HCG diet out there, whatever it is you guys have done, like that's just a calorie reduction diet. Like you're going to bring it down to 500 calories and you're going to do this for this amount of time and this for this amount of time. People aren't going to work out through that process. I'm here to tell you that through the ketogenic diet, through the ketones, the exogenous ketones, I'm going to encourage you to continue to work out. Like this is going to help you in this process. So it preserves that muscle. So anytime you're doing something and you're not giving your body what it needs, your body's going to turn and utilize whatever it's going to. So in the state of being in ketosis, it turns to the fat. It turns to the ketone molecules that are in your bloodstream that if you're not in a state of ketogenesis, which is naturally doing the ketogenic diet, it's not naturally going to turn to your body fat and start using it. What it's going to do is it's going to use the exogenous ketones that you're putting into your system, and it's going to utilize that as the fuel source. It's not going to go to your muscle, right? So it's going to help, again, prevent muscle loss. It's going to be muscle sparing. So as we get older, what tends to happen is, have you guys ever been to the ice cream shops and things like that? Typically, those long lines and things there, you'll see a lot of elderly people in there, right? There's a reason for that, because what happens is as we get older, we tend to start to shift away from our proteins, the things that our body needs, and the things that we crave are going to be the sugars and things like that. So as we get older, if you're utilizing this ketone product, I'm pretty sure that most, if you are 70, 80 years old out there, and you've been taught one way, that you're not really going to shift into a ketogenic diet. I mean, I could be wrong. There are some people out there that may be going to do it that way. But trying to get your grandparents or, some folks that may be elderly to say, hey, listen, we're going to go on a high-fat diet. We're going to cut out all the carbohydrates. They're not going to do it because their body's craving those things. But if now you allow them to utilize these exogenous ketones and they put this in their system, they're going to start to notice a shift. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because here's another great benefit. It curbs your cravings for carbs and sugars, right? So what does that mean? That means as we start to utilize exogenous ketones, it's straight brain fuel. So it goes to our brain and it lights our brain up on another level. So now all of a sudden, mental focus, mental clarity, you're going to notice those things. That brain fog that may be creeping in isn't going to be there anymore. You're not going to have the mommy brain that a lot of our women talk about out there that just forget why they walked into the kitchen or forget why they walked into the bedroom. And it doesn't just happen to moms. It happens to men. It happens to all of us, right? The fact of the matter is you're now fueling your brain with a different fuel source. So if you can look at it like this, fueling your brain with a high performance fuel. So we're like Lamborghinis. Our bodies are like Lamborghinis. They're high performance machines. A Lamborghini is a high performance car. So if all of a sudden we're putting 89 octane into a Lamborghini and we think that it's going to run good, it might for a few days, it might run okay. But over time, it's not going to run right because you're not putting the proper fuel source into that engine, right? So our bodies are the same way. So for a long time, metabolically, we ran okay at a certain point, but then all of a sudden our body becomes metabolically deficient. Our cells stop accepting that junk fuel, and it's not utilizing it the way that it should. So we wonder why we get this spare tire around here. We wonder why, we get lethargic. We wonder why, because your body, no matter how much you're consuming of these carbs and sugars, your body just says, it starts to shut down and saying, I'm not going to utilize it anymore because the cells are not accepting it, right? So what happens if you don't utilize it as energy? What happens if you don't utilize it and burn it off? Your body packs it away for later use because your body's like, well, I don't need it right now, but I'm going to need it later. So let me pack it around here. And that's where the fat starts to build up. So how many of you guys out there are starting to build up some fat? How many of you guys have been sitting around during this quarantine, during this pandemic, and you see the refrigerator behind me over here, right? Like, how many of you guys just continue to open up that refrigerator left and right? How many of you guys continue just to dive in there and start making bad decisions? How many of you guys are going into, right next to it is the kids' cookie cabinet, right? So how many of you guys are going into the kids' cookie cabinet and just crushing Oreos and things like that? What's happening is your body is not using that stuff as a fuel source anymore. So now we open up those cells. Now we actually go in there and help clean those cells up a little bit. Now our cells start to utilize the naturally fermented ketones that I'm speaking of right now, that actually absorb into those cells in the body so your body can utilize it. There's, again, it's not stimulant based, right? So there's no junk in these. That's the reason that we have 8 different patents on our product, because we're category kings. There's people that want to catch up to what we're doing. There's people that want the recipe to Colonel Sanders chicken, right? There's just those people out there that are trying to jump on board on the mainstream keto bandwagon right now, and utilize a product. Like I had some people recently reaching out to me, telling me about, if you guys can see me and hear me okay, please drop that down below, because as I'm looking at it here, it looks pretty blurry, and it looks like I'm lagging behind a little bit. So if that's the case, let me know, please. But through that process, I had some guys say, listen, I utilize this pill and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. And I'm like, look, I can't speak upon that because I don't know. I don't utilize it. I'm not going to talk bad about any other product. But what I will do is I will tell you what I do know. I will tell you what works for me. I will tell you what has worked for many tens of thousands of my clients and the people that I actually have put on the product that now share it at a high level, that has become this global conversation that continue to get results day after day, year after year. And the results just continue to increase. Another great result, fat loss, right? So how does this help promote fat loss? Again, you guys heard me tell you a few minutes ago that this was not a ketogenic diet, right? I mean, this is not a weight loss product, because it's not. It's not a weight loss product. But it will help enhance you burning fat. Why will it do that? Because number one, I just told you, it's going to help cut your cravings for carbs and sugars. It's going to give you fast and sustained energy. You're not going to want to take a nap anymore. So now all of a sudden you start to feel better. Anytime that you do better and you feel better, what's going to happen? You want more, right? So this is the great gateway to getting people to shift their diet to being better, right? This is the great gateway to help you stop going through the drive-through lines all the time to pick up that cheeseburger or that taco or whatever it is that you're going to do, right? Like, this is going to help shift your mindset on making better choices. So now all of a sudden we're making better choices. Now we're not craving those carbs and sugars anymore. Now all of a sudden, anytime that you have muscle and you build muscle, it helps burn fat, right? That's exactly what it does. So muscle building, muscle preservation, those kind of things is going to help your metabolism. It's going to help everything work properly in your body. So now all of a sudden, all these things are starting to shift, right? And again, here's another great benefit: appetite control. So appetite control, you're not going to be snacking in between meals. If you utilize this product the way that I suggest for you guys to utilize it, whatever your morning is, some people work a night shift, some people work the day shift, whatever it is, your morning may be different than my morning. But when your morning comes about, take one of these on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning, and watch how your day shifts. You're no longer going to be hungry first thing in the morning. But I say this, listen to your body. It's that simple. I'm going to tell you again. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you when it's hungry and when it's full. So if you don't change your diet, because I don't want you to do that right away, we're going to make small shifts to help you become the best version of who God created you to be. And how is that going to happen? The drink is going to help you start to make the shift. I just told you how. The last 4 benefits that I showed you is the shift that's going to start to happen. When that happens, now all of a sudden you're making those better choices. Your diet is shifting without you thinking about having to shift your diet. And for you guys that are out there and then you're doing a strict ketogenic diet and you're like, there's no way, I don't need exogenous ketones because my body creates them and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Listen, I'm all for the ketogenic diet. I'll tell you that again. I'm all for the ketogenic diet. Like, if you can be that strict, if you can do the ketogenic diet, if your body is actually able metabolically able to create ketones, and you can do it that way, and you're not worried about a keto flu, and you're not worried about all those great things, and that's the way you want to do it, like the best thing is you can do here is add this in, because it's going to take you up a notch. So now you're feeling this good because you're already doing keto, right? You're doing the ketogenic diet, you're feeling good, you know, your mental clarity is there, but now all of a sudden you take this drink and you add it in, because what tends to happen is most people that follow a ketogenic diet and they stay on it for 6 months, 8 months, a year, they do really good. They have some phenomenal weight loss and they have some great benefits. Their body starts to go through some miraculous changes because, number one, they're cutting out carbs and sugars, right? So all these things start to happen. But sooner or later, if they're not supplementing with magnesium, if you're not supplementing with the right micronutrients, if you're not supplementing with those things, if you're not staying hydrated, if you're not utilizing electrolytes, you start to get a lull. You start to like lose energy. You don't feel as good as you did when you first started. There's a reason for that. Now, you introduce these exogenous ketones that have magnesium in it. It has the supplements that you need. It really puts you where you need to be. Now it brings you up to another level. Now you're feeling great again. And even in the very beginning, you guys that are starting out the ketogenic diet and really want to do it strict, great. Like, you know, God bless you. Like, that's amazing. Again, I've done it. I've been there. I'm about to dive back into it again. So follow my journey. But my journey is going to be a little different this time. You know, I'm going to be burning fat, building muscle at the same time. So I want you guys to follow along on that, because I want to be able to teach you on how to do those things. But right here, most people hit a gap where they hit what's called the keto flu. If you guys have ever had the keto flu out there, if you know what it is, through exogenous ketones, you're not going to hit the keto flu. I promise you're not going to hit the keto flu. What may happen through this process is you might get dehydrated. So you might get a little bit of a headache. You might go through some processes. That's why we send you guides. We send you simple hacks, like utilize pink Himalayan sea salt, utilize some kind of good sea salt, because it's going to have electrolytes in it. It's going to have minerals in it. It's going to have what your body needs. Drink some water, like do these things. I promise you, if you get a little lethargic, if you get a little bit of a headache, that's not the keto flu. I promise you, if you have the keto flu, you'll know what the keto flu is, because you'll be down and out. You won't want to get out of bed, right? That's the keto flu. It's not you have a little bit of a headache. I promise you. That's just lack of minerals. That's lack of hydration. So if you follow the process, if you trust the process, the amazing benefits that you're going to get on the other side of this, I've seen so many people start, and they may just not have been ready, right? You know, may just not have been their time, but they give up. Like, they give up. They're like, well, you know, my big toe started hurting, so I decided that it wasn't for me and I got to stop. I'm like, no, like, don't give up. Plug in. When you feel like that, dive in deeper. That's when you want to get in and go, okay, what do I need to do? You're on the verge of some amazing benefits that are going to change your life, but you're right here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the little meme where there's two guys and they're digging for gold or diamonds, right? And this guy is like a centimeter away, but he turns around and he leaves and he goes back home. And this other guy just keeps chipping away. He's got so much farther to go, but he's on his way to the diamonds, and he eventually gets them, right? Like, because he stayed consistent and he trusted the process. You're that close to the magic, that close to changing your life, but you got to give up. A lot of people give up. They're like, I'm done. I can't do it, right? So appetite control, another huge one. I'm going to tell you one of my favorite benefits right here, number 6, being in a better mood every day. What does that mean? That means is I just wake up happier. Why would I wake up happier? Because everything is starting to fall into place. Anytime that we can go ahead and cut out carbs and sugars out of our diet, and a lot of you guys may be out there like, well, I don't eat carbs and sugars. Like, check the packages. Look at what you're eating. And I promise you, I don't care if it says 0 sugar. Don't look at the nutrition facts, because it's all hidden down here. It's all hidden down in the ingredients. Okay. That's where it's at. So make sure you guys understand how to read your packaging, because a lot of people are like, well, I don't eat that. I go, what do you eat? And they start listing it off. And I'm like, well, yeah, well, this has dextrose. This has metadextrose. Like, the list goes on and on and on and on. Right. So better mood. Anytime you can be in a better mood, listen, your wife's going to thank you. Your husband's going to thank you. Your kids are going to thank you. Like, I promise you, this isn't just going to change your life. This is going to change everybody's life around you. And again, there's a sale to this supplement. If you guys want on board, great. Like, say, I want to know about what's going on. I want to be in a better mood. If you guys want better mood, just put better mood down below. and we'll get you the information, guys. Like, I feel like there's sometimes that I hold back and I don't tell you guys, like, hey, we have a great supplement that's going to make you be better, do better, and feel better, right? And then you guys just kind of follow along, but you really don't know that there's magic at your fingertips, right? Another one here, better sleep. So why would I be in a better mood? If I enhance my sleep, if I get better sleep, that's where recovery happens. That's one of the most important things that we're talking about here. Sleep. How many of you guys have trouble sleeping out there? And I know I have some amazing people on here right now that have had tremendous shifts in their sleep. And when I mean tremendous shifts in their sleep, I'm talking about going from not sleeping but only 1 or 2 hours a night to sleeping 8 hours a night. Like, imagine that. Imagine if you, and maybe this is you out there. Like, imagine, I can't identify to that because I never really had a tough time sleeping, but I can lay my head down and go to sleep. But am I actually getting rest? Am I getting REM sleep, or am I just getting physical sleep? So I've noticed my rest has gotten better, but some people like are only sleeping 1 hour and up the rest of the time. If that's you, like, this right here will change your life because you're going to get better sleep. So now all of a sudden, if you're going from sleeping 1 or 2 hours a night to sleeping 8 hours, 9 hours, and getting actual like tremendous rest, think about how that can change every day for you. Forget about all the other benefits I just said. If you guys are struggling with sleep out there, forget about all the other benefits I said. Just sleep. If you could just have that one thing in your life. And I want you guys to tell me, please, like, type in the chats down below. If better could show up in your world tomorrow, like if something could be better, what would it be for you? Would it be sleep? Would it be fat loss? Would it be appetite control? Would it be muscle preservation? Would it be fast and sustained energy? I don't know. You guys know that. Like, if you could just be 1% better tomorrow in something that you're doing, where would that be for you? Maybe it's sleep. If it is, great. You know, here's another great benefit, and people don't understand why. Better skin. Like, what happens? We look more vibrant. Like, skin tags just start to disappear. Things start to happen. Why? Because, again, we're cutting out carbs and sugars, not having to do it, not saying you got to go cut out all your carbs and sugars. Through the process, through trusting the process. And I'll tell you guys this, there's a grind to this. There's a process to this. But I say it all the time, the grace that you're going to find is in that grind. The more you grind it out, the more you trust the process, the more the amazing benefits are going to just pile on. Like, you're going to be like, wow, I can't believe it. Better skin. You're going to start noticing people saying, you just look different. I don't understand. Like, you look different. You look younger. Like, people are going to tell you that. I've had people tell me that constantly. I have people tell me, Tommy that just walked in here a few minutes ago, he's going to be having an amazing get together tomorrow from 10:30 to 12:30 on his fat burner page. He's going to be explaining a lot of his benefits too. Like, his skin, like, he just looks vibrant. He looks young. He's 60 years old and he looks like he's my age. And I'm 43. So Tommy looks 43 at 60. And it's amazing. And it's not just me telling him that. Like, he hears that all around. Like, people are telling him, Tommy, what's going on? So there's 8 amazing benefits right there that I can share with you guys. And who can take this and why would you take it? I would say this, like, this is not going to affect anything that you're doing in your life, meaning, like, if you, are taking medications and things like that. But I say this all the time, like, take this to your doctor. Tell your doctor, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about taking. And it's not just this. If you guys are adding a protein shake into your life, if you guys are adding supplements into your life and you're working with a doctor and you're working hand in hand with somebody, like, let them know, hey, this is what I plan on doing. What do you think? I encourage that. Like, ask your doctor. Like, connect your doctor with us. We have doctors. We have researchers. We have all the information that I've been taught, that I've educated myself on through the thought leaders of this. Like, this isn't something I woke up yesterday and decided, hey, I'm going to come on here and tell you guys this works. Like, no, I've lived it. I've done it. I've been through it. I've done the ketogenic diet. I'm going to start utilizing it again. I'm going to start weighing my food. I'm going to start counting my macros. Do I recommend you guys doing that? No. I recommend you starting out and making slow shifts. Do you want to go that way? Awesome. We can take you that way. I've started to become a better version of myself because the quarantine, everything else, where the walls have been closing in on me, as I know they are on everybody else out there. I found that I haven't been the best version of myself. It happens to all of us. I'm here to be completely transparent. So I've decided over the next 100 days to make a shift. If you guys want to be involved in the next 100-day challenge, and what I mean by 100-day challenge is I'm going to do 10 10-day sprints. What does that mean? I'm going to take this thing 10 days at a time. My goal is to hit 100 days, but I'm going to do it 10 days at a time. So as long as I continue each day to do a little more than I did yesterday, in 100 days, think about where I'm going to be. Think about where you could be in 100 days if all you did was 1% better than you did yesterday. Let me clarify that. If you just did 1% better than you did yesterday in 100 days, where do you think you would be? It's 10-day sprints. We're going to do this in 10-day challenges, right? 10 days, 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 right? If you guys make it 20 days, that's better than you did before. If you guys make it 10 days, that's better than you did before. If you can commit and do 100 days, think about where you'll be. Think about what you'll look like. Think about the shifts that you're going to make, not only in your life, but in your family's life. If you can become the best version of yourself within 100 days, like, what is that going to look like for you? For me, I can already tell you, like, I've started already. And this last week, I started walking, something I haven't done in a long time. Started getting out. The first time I jogged, I did 2 miles. I stretched my calf, my left calf, tweaked it a little bit. Top of my feet were hurting. Like, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. The next day, I rested. I didn't go out because my left calf was tweaked up pretty good. The next day after that, my calf still hurt, yes. But I said, you know what? That's just an excuse. That's the devil trying to come in and stop me, right? I got to do it no matter what. So what did I do the next day? I went out and I walked. I think it was 3 miles. So I went an extra mile. I didn't run it. My time wasn't the best. But the fact of the matter is, I did it. Then what happened? The next day, I said, man, I'm feeling better. All right, let me go out again. So I walked and I jogged. I walked and I jogged. I walked and I jogged. And I got up to, I think it was 5 miles. You guys follow my stories. I have highlights in there. Like, you're going to see it. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to post my progression throughout the week. And I'm going to do that every week. So you're going to go through, and each day I'm going to have my story up there. But I'm going to go back on that Saturday or that Sunday, and I'm going to just post it all. Like, here's my progression. Here's how I progressed. So then again today, I went back out again today. And I jogged most of it, walked a little bit, but I jogged a lot of it. So I went 6.1 miles, I think, today, 6.1. And I did 12 minutes, 42-second miles. That's not killing it. That's not where I want to be. I should be about an 8-minute mile, right? But I have to trust the process. You have to start somewhere. That's the key, guys. Like, are you starting? Are you starting? Have you started? Are you consistent? Are you going to continue to do it? Or are you going to get 1% better every day? Like, tomorrow, no matter what, I'm going to go back out and I'm going to get 6.2 miles no matter what, because I did 6.1 today, right? If my time is not there, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up, right? Like, 1% better. If I can go 6.5 miles, great, I'm going to do it. Each day, this gets easier. By my 10th day doing this, I'm already going to start to, things have already started to shift. So by 10 days in, man, I expect to be running a marathon by the end of 2020. I put that out there right now. And that doesn't mean I'm going to go out and crush the marathon. That doesn't mean I'm going to be like going out and setting world records. I will run a marathon by the end of 2020. If you guys want to make that commitment with me, and for you guys that don't know, 26.2 miles is a marathon. Like, boom, it's a marathon. It's on, right? I'm already running over a 5K every day now, right? I didn't start at a 5K. I started less than a 5K because I continue to do it, because I continue to trust the process, because I understand that if I can just do a little bit better today than I did yesterday, I'm making progress. So these 10-day sprints are huge. They're a key. Why? Because 10 days is something you can do. If I said we're going to go out and do 100 days and this is what we're going to do, your mind's going to go 100 days. I can't do 100 days. I haven't even started. Like, how am I going to do 100 days when I haven't started? But if you can do 10-day sprints, 10-day sprints. Listen, if you do 3 10-day sprints, awesome. That's 30 days. That's better than you did before. Like, don't give up. Continue to press, continue to move forward. I promise you it's going to get easier. And that goes for anything you do in life. Physical fitness, whatever it is, eating better, whatever it is, your job, doing better at your job, doing different things. Like, make a shift wherever your shift is. I'm going to tell you this right now. If you guys will commit to the 10-day challenge that we have, okay, and that's your start. Go on and get 10-day challenge, $99, boom, $99. Can you invest in yourself for $99? You're going to do one or two things. In that 10 days, you're either going to commit and you're going to start to do a little bit. Maybe you walk a half a mile. Maybe you walk a mile. Maybe you swim a little bit. I don't know what it is you guys do, but maybe you progress somehow, some way. Maybe you don't. Maybe all you do is you continue to do exactly what you're doing every day, but you introduce this into your lifestyle, and all of a sudden you're going to start to see the shifts happen, right? So after 10 days, you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to realize, man, I'm committed and I'm ready to go, and I want to make a huge change in my life, and I want to do this 100 days. If I make it 30 days, great. If I make 5 of those sprints, awesome, right? If I make 1 of them, awesome. Or you're going to be like, you know what? It's just not the right time for me right now. I committed, I did $100, and I'll, check back in later. It's just not for me right now. At least you're going to know. At least you have the gumption to say, either I did or I didn't. But if you're going to sit back and just kind of be like, oh, I'm going to keep watching, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I have people reaching out to me that are like, hey, man, I know I reached out to you. Hey, Raphael. Hey, Michael. I know I reached out to you 3 years ago, and we talked a little bit, and but I see what you're doing. I see the progression. I see where you're at. Like, I'm ready now. Can we have a conversation? Absolutely. I send them my calendar link. They go on, they schedule a time that works for them. We do a 30-minute call, no cost, guys, no cost, 30 minutes. Get on. What's your goals? What are you looking to do? Are you looking to make a shift? You guys got to tell us. But there's nothing wrong with being able to commit to yourself for 30 minutes to get on a call and decide whether this is for you or not. And if you don't want to do a call, fine. Commit to $100 and decide, hey, I want in. And maybe you guys are already like, I've been watching this for a long time. I've been seeing the shifts. I've been seeing the before and better pictures. I've been seeing all these things. I just haven't committed yet. But you know what? I'm ready. I want to do this. Like, we have another option. 60-day transformation. Okay. It's the cheapest way we have to get aboard right now. It's $234 for 60 days, right? 60 servings of the ketones. If you want to do 2 a day, it's totally up to you. That's going to give you 30 days, but there's 60 packets in there for $234. You know how many times I've spent $234 years ago at the bar in about 8 minutes? I couldn't tell you how long. Was I making the best choices for myself back then? No, but it didn't matter to me because that was what was relative to me at the moment. And I'm not here to tell you what you guys should or shouldn't do, but what I am here to tell you is, if you're ready to make the shift, make the shift. Tommy says 10 a.m. to 12. Sorry, Tommy. Workshop live, Tommy Pichardo, Transformational Coach, Facebook page. Let's get on it, guys. Tommy's going to have some amazing information. It's going to kind of piggyback on what I'm talking about right here and more, right? There's going to be more. But I'm going to let you guys go. I know I've been on here about 40 minutes, and I want to be mindful of your guys' time. Please go back and watch this from the beginning, because if you're not understanding what the exogenous ketones are, I played about a 4-minute video in the beginning of this that breaks it down very simply. If you guys want to know more information, just type down more information. I'll put the Calendly link down there. You guys can go on and schedule a time that works for you. There'll be openings on there. Pick one. Jump on a Zoom call with me. See where we can go, where we can take this. Guys, this 10-day challenge comes with food guides. This thing comes with movement guides. This doesn't mean you have to go to the gym. This means simple things you can do right here in your living room floor. This means just the food guide means, hey, if you want to make better choices, here's better proteins. If you want to make better choices, here's better carb choices. If you want to make better choices, here's better fat choices, right? We're not telling you have to do this, this, and this. If I told you tomorrow that you couldn't drink wine anymore and you couldn't have a donut and you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that, and you can't do this and you can't do that, but you got to eat this, this, and this, how many people are going to succeed at that? Not many. Not many of you guys are going to succeed. And if you do, it's going to be for a short period. We want something that's going to be a lifestyle that you guys lead from this point for the rest of your life. We want to break generational shifts that are created from the way our parents cooked, from the way we were taught, from the way our parents were taught, right? Like we want to pass this along to my kids, to your kids, to their grandkids, right? We want this to go farther, farther, faster, right? And the only way to do that is to make the shift now. Make the shift now. You see it on my shirt, guys. The 10-day drink ketones challenge. Like it's that simple. $99, jump in 10 days, $234, 60 servings. I'm ready. I want to be able to know what this is going to do for me. I want to give it a great shot at 60 days, 60 servings. Let's go. 10 days, it's going to do wonders for you. But imagine 60, what it can do for you. So, again, I appreciate you guys. And again, who can use this? Anybody. Like there's no, if my kids utilize it. You know, I have a 10-year-old that utilizes it. It's been utilizing it for 3 years now. You know, I have a 21-year-old, a 20-year-old. They take it. My grandfather, before he passed away, my grandmother, my mom, they all utilize it. Like there's no person that wouldn't be able to utilize this. And if you had any questions on that, listen to the doctors. I'll send you the resources. There's a great thing going on right now too. Later tomorrow afternoon after Tommy's transformational page that we're going to be on, the ketogenic summit or something like that. If you guys want information on that, it's going to talk about the ketogenic diet. It's going to talk about supplementation. It's going to talk about muscle PhD. It's going to talk about all kinds of different things. Yes, we have the resources for you. You just have to let us know which way you want to go. You may be the one that says, hey, I don't want to make many shifts. I just want to feel better. Awesome. Get started with the drink. 60 days later, you may be like, man, I feel amazing. Now I want to make a shift. Great. Here you go. We got you. We got the platform for you. Like you may be one of those like, I want all in. I want this. I want the diet. I want everything. I want to max out. We got that for you. We got whatever you need. I tell people, get in where you fit in. We have a good, a better, and a best choice. Which one you want to be. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. Anybody that asked any questions or tagged anybody in here, thank you for tagging them. If you guys have shared this out, thank you for sharing it out because sharing is caring. You guys have the power at your fingertips to change somebody else's life. Maybe you're not ready at this moment, but maybe you know somebody else going through a tough time. Thank you. Your presence matters. I want to really stress that a lot. You guys coming on here, you guys allowing us to pour into you, allowing, thank you for holding me accountable. Thank you for getting my butt up off the couch and the places that I thought that I shouldn't be, but I didn't realize I was really there until the things started closing in on me. Thank you for holding me accountable to now do this 10-day sprints to the 100-day challenge. And if you guys want on board on that, just say, hey, tell me about these 10-day sprints that you're going to be doing. I want to know about the 10-day sprint. Awesome. I want to let you know. We're going to actually create a group off of there for everybody doing the 10-day sprints. It's going to be the 10-day sprint 100-day challenge. If you guys don't make it the 100 days, that's fine. It's not a problem. Like get in where you fit in and do what's best for you. So thank you guys. Appreciate you. Any questions, drop them down below. Reach out. So many different ways to get a hold of us. Eventually you'll see your favorite keto coach, Danielle Iana, is back on here. Not sure where she is right now, but she'll be back. She will be back. If you guys want to see that, drop some comments down below. Let her know that you're thinking about her. Let her know that she is the beloved favorite keto coach, and you guys want to see her back on the lives and punching me in the kidneys as I say something stupid. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. We will talk to you soon. We will see you tomorrow. Keto every day. Guys, for you guys that did the Freebie Friday, tomorrow is when you'll know who wins. Actually, it'll be drawn tomorrow at noontime. Monday, all the winners will come out through Instagram. So if you guys want to know about Freebie Friday, type it down below. You have until 11 a.m. tomorrow to actually enter for Freebie Friday. You guys will know what Freebie Friday is. We give away 20 packets to 10 different people. 200 packets of ketones are given away. So if you guys want to know how to enter that, please just type in Freebie Friday down below. We'll get you the info. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. And we will see you soon. Keto every day. Arrivederci.